Power Rangers main villains come from all kinds of backgrounds, whether it's a desire to conquer Earth or simply a hunger for power. Some of them come from outer space, while others have been lurking on Earth for centuries. But here's the interesting part. In certain seasons, the main villains were actually created by humans themselves. From scientists pushing things too far, egos getting out of control, experiments gone wrong, to weapons turning against their own creators. Today, we're breaking down some of the most terrifying Power Rangers villains that exist because of human mistakes. So, let's get into it. Ransik, Power Rangers Time Force. Ransik is a mutant criminal from the year 3000. He wasn't born evil, he was accidentally created as the result of a chemical reaction caused by a laboratory incident in the future. That reaction twisted his body, leaving him with a strange and frightening appearance. Because of how he looked, society rejected him. People feared him, avoided him, and pushed him aside. Over time, that rejection turned into anger, and that anger slowly grew into hatred toward humans. Eventually, Ransik chose a dark path. He became a criminal and began committing countless crimes. As we see in episode 1, he's captured, but it doesn't last long. He escapes, steals a time machine, and travels back to the year 2001 to conquer the world. At the end of the day, Ransik isn't just a villain, he's a broken man who was hurt first. Master Org, Power Rangers, Wild Force. Master Org actually refers to two different entities. The original ancient Master Org was defeated and sealed away nearly 3,000 years ago. Meanwhile, the Master Org we see throughout the series is someone else entirely, a different person who took on the name, driven by a personal grudge and a desire for revenge. And the guy behind all of this was Dr. Adler. Originally, Dr. Adler was just a normal scientist working alongside his two colleagues, Richard and Elizabeth. But things weren't that simple. There was a complicated love story between the three of them. Adler had feelings for Elizabeth for a long time. But just when he finally worked up the courage to confess, Richard got there first and proposed to her. That moment completely broke him. Adler kept all those feelings bottled up for years, letting the pain quietly eat away at him from the inside. Then one day, they accidentally discovered the seeds of Master Org, somehow left behind. And that's when everything changed. Adler's darker thoughts began to take over. Knowing exactly what he was doing, Dr. Adler consumed the seeds to gain power. Not long after that, he fully transformed, and with his new strength, he began seeking revenge on his former friends. From that point on, there was no stopping him. Little by little, Master Org's evil influence poisoned his mind until Dr. Adler completely became the new host, the reincarnation of Master Org himself.
The Master Org has returned!
Mesogog, Power Rangers, Dino Thunder. His origin begins years ago when a group of scientists decided to run an experiment using dinosaur DNA. The team included Anton Mercer, Terrence Smith, and of course Tommy Oliver. But things didn't go as planned. The experiment went completely wrong and created a massive problem. The failure led to the creation of wild tyrannodrones, and even worse, it accidentally transformed Anton Mercer into a terrifying creature known as Mesogog. Mesogog is a villain born from a biological experiment gone wrong. But in fact, Anton Mercer and Mesogog are actually two separate personalities, and both are fully aware of each other's existence. In episode 36, The Test of Truth, we see Mesogog create a serum designed to separate himself from Anton Mercer, and surprisingly, it actually works. By the finale, Mesogog becomes a fully independent entity, showing his true strength and carrying out his plans entirely on his own. Venjix, Power Rangers, RPM. At its core, Venjix is really just a computer virus. It all starts with a brilliant little girl we later come to know as Dr. K. She was born a genius, and because of that, the government took her in from a very young age, hoping to use her intelligence. Little K was locked away in the same room for years, forced to solve incredibly complex problems, from advanced equations to classified codes. As she grew older, Dr. K became completely fed up with her situation, so she created a powerful computer virus, not to destroy the world, but simply to break through the security system and escape. Unfortunately, she was caught before she could activate the firewall. Because of that, Venjix went out of control, infecting nearly 37% of the world's computer systems. From there, everything spiraled. Venjix gained sentience, broke free, and devastated the planet. In the end, the person responsible for stopping Venjix was the same person who created it. Dr. K formed her own ranger team and designed advanced weapons and Zords to fight back. Venjix may have been defeated in physical form in the RPM finale, but the story doesn't end there. So that's exactly why we're heading into the next segment. Power Rangers Beast Morphers. So in the ending scene of Power Rangers RPM, we see one of the Rangers' morphers start sending out a signal, hinting that Venjix wasn't completely gone. Fast forward 10 years to Power Rangers Beast Morphers, a young genius begins experimenting with an old cell shift morpher, trying to find a new way to morph. What he doesn't realize is that the morpher is still infected by the Venjix virus. He then combines the cell shift morpher with Morph X and Snake DNA. And yup, that's where everything goes wrong. Something bad happens without him even realizing it. Venjix awakens, escapes, and hides behind the firewall inside Grid Battle Force's computer system. He waits patiently, and when the time is right, Venjix hijacks the Morphin Grid, builds himself a brand new body, and evolves into Evox, stronger, smarter, and far more dangerous. Evox becomes one of the most real and terrifying threats to Earth, created once again by human mistake. Honestly, it's a wild plot twist. For 10 years, we had no idea what that signal in RPM's final scene really meant, until Beast Morphers finally gave us the answer.
I was Venjix! I have had many forms.
Lothor, Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Even though he came from outer space, Lothor isn't actually an alien. So, a long time ago, Lothor was just a normal student at the Wind Ninja Academy. His real name was Kiya Watanabe, and he was actually the twin brother of Kanoi Watanabe. Kiya was a pretty friendly guy at first, but deep down, he had a serious hunger for power. He secretly began studying dark ninja magic, which was the biggest forbidden rule at the Ninja Academy. Over time, Kiya became more aggressive, more reckless, and a lot darker. Eventually, he discovered Miko's green amulet, something that clearly held great importance. Seeing an opportunity, he tried to steal it, but unfortunately for him, he was caught by his own brother afterward. And that's when everything unraveled. All of Kiya's crimes were exposed at once. Because of his betrayal and for breaking the Academy's most sacred rule, Kiya was severely punished. He was expelled from the Academy and banished from Earth. Kiya was furious, and he swore that one day he'd come back to get revenge on them. And sure enough, years later, Kiya returned stronger than ever, under a new identity as Lothor. So overall, Lothor is a villain shaped by human ego, greed, and the desire for absolute power. The last one is Sporix Beasts, Power Rangers Dino Fury. The Sporix Beasts have a pretty complicated backstory. They were created centuries ago, and not even by humans from Earth. The Sporix were created way back 65 million years ago on a planet called Rafkon, the homeworld of Zato and Aion. Originally, they were designed as weapons to fight an approaching evil, but once the Sporix Beasts were unleashed, things went completely out of control. The Sporix Beasts went wild, turned on the Knights of Rafkon, and basically wiped out the entire planet. After that disaster, the Sporix somehow ended up on Earth, with Zato and the others chasing after them. With help from the Morphin Masters, Zato, Aion, and the remaining Knights managed to seal the Sporix Beasts away in a safe place. They stayed locked up for millions of years, until modern times, someone known as Void Knight tried to take the Sporix Beasts, but accidentally they broke free and scattered all across the city. And that's when a new ranger team was formed once again, tasked with tracking down the Sporix Beasts that had gone completely wild. So in the end, something that was created to protect people ended up becoming one of humanity's biggest threats. And that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Drop a like if you found it interesting and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.